You're sleeping. And welcome to the DreamCast. Obviously, I have Kai, who's usually here with me. And we have a new guest today, David. But David isn't just any guest, somebody we just randomly had on. Kai and I have known David for a really long time now. He's a brother to both of us. Obviously, it's been a while since we've uploaded the last one, but you know, our lives are kind of slowing down a little bit with the summer coming up, so we'll be able to do some more of these a little bit more consistently.
We're back.
So we'll have you introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm David. Happy to be here. I think the way I met Lucas is a really interesting story, and I love telling people about this every time we're together. So it was Black Ops 3, I believe, and I was into competitive at the time, but I didn't have anybody to play with, so I was just playing the ranked playlist, and I think it was Redwood S&D. I think we were playing, and I don't remember what happened, but I think we went down 3v4, someone left, or 2v4, I don't know if it was that
crazy,
bad, but it was something crazy, and we ended up winning the game, so I had to message him after, yo, good game, bro, and he's like, yo, you want a Skype call? I was like, not really, because for years my parents, anytime I'd play online video games, they're like, there are predators out there, don't talk to nobody. I was like, fuck it, so I Skyped you. We were talking, I don't remember what happened there, but you were like, yeah, my friend plays, we'll get into a Skype call together, and that friend was Kai, and then it's history.
Yeah.
I remember you had a jellyfish profile pic on Skype.
On Skype, yeah.
I don't even know what yours was. Yours was a samurai.
It's probably samurai.
Some stupid.
No, yeah. I remember it pretty much just like that. I remember I think I was in a call with Kai at the time, and I remember playing, and then you sent me the thing, and I was like, oh, it's so nice for someone to... Yeah, I was like, I wasn't expecting that. So then I went to respond, and it was we were in the PlayStation DMs, I guess. Yeah. And then, I remember asking that, and Kai was like, oh, I don't know, Lucas. I don't know. I was like, all right, well, we'll figure it out. But yeah.
And then we figured out that he lived no farther than 10 minutes away from us.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes away, whatever it is.
Which is actually insane.
Crazy. I guess it makes sense because connection-based matchmaking and all that. Yeah. But at the time, I was I could be playing for anybody in the world, and I'm playing with kids in Hazlet.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Make any sense.
Which was, it's the odds of that.
Yeah. And
even, I know, similarly, somebody who I'm sure we'll have on eventually, but he's just a bit of a goof, I guess. John, he, I think the same sort of idea, it was skill-based, or, region matchmaking, best connection, so he was right down the road also.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then it all comes into play how we played together for years, and then we met Jimmy, blah, blah, blah. You guys will get to know Jimmy at some point.
Yeah, hopefully he comes out.
Once he gets out of North Carolina.
Come back, Jimmy.
Yeah, or just come to Jersey all the way. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, fuck it.
You don't need beaches in North Carolina. We got beaches here.
Yeah.
I know all of us, we haven't been posting videos just because we're so busy, but I finally finished with school, got out for the summer.
Well, actually, on my drive here, I'm sitting there and I was thinking about all this and everything. I was like, damn, I really want to get back into streaming again, because, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
But, I just don't have, anyone to stream with. But now since the summer's coming and we could all play again, I'm down to get back into streaming and everything.
I gotta re-download it, deleted it, last week.
Yeah, so did I. Actually deleted it, 2 days ago to open up space for my...
I gotta plug in my PlayStation for the first time since last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before I left school, I made a present for you guys. I got it here. Let's see.
First guess, we're getting presents?
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yo, what?
There was one, I tried polishing one and it didn't come out well.
No,
so I have four here for when Jimmy comes. I got one for him too.
This is what's waiting for you, Jimmy. Come on. Come to Jersey. Yo, that's sick.
Bro, what? I didn't think it was gonna be some fucking necklace.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I had to buy the chain in bulk, so the chain's kind of whack, but you guys can replace the chain.
Bro,
yo.
Fuck my diamonds. This shit is fucking awesome.
Yo.
Holy shit.
You gotta put a picture of it in the video or something.
Yeah.
So
holy shit.
Oh my god, yo, this is fresh.
Thank you.
Of course.
Bro, that was a great
shit.
fucking idea.
Of course.
You are the man.
And we got the new painting too.
Oh yeah.
Finally got that.
He's talented all around. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Hopefully I'll edit that video and get that up.
Yeah, that would be sick. And then we have a little bit of a parody to go along with that also, so should be a lot of fun. But But yeah, we were supposed to record this a while ago, but somebody couldn't show up.
Sorry.
But it actually ended up working out because a lot's happened since then, which is, it just shows how crazy the world we're living in. Like, 1 week there was nothing going on, and now there's so much stuff to talk about. So, moving in towards like the fighting realm.
I'm on here, so we gotta talk some.
Yeah.
MMA.
Before we get to real fighting, we'll talk about the Logan Paul versus Mayweather fight. Crazy. I mean, I think like if there's any takeaway from it, it really is like whatever you put your mind to, you could accomplish. Like obviously, by no means did Logan Paul win the fight, but like he proved the point that he said he was gonna prove. Like he went on and he said, well, there's weight classes for a reason. Like I'm gonna show it to everybody, and everybody's like, oh no, like.
I mean, here's my thing. There's speculations that he got knocked out at some point during the fight and Mayweather held him up. I couldn't really tell after I watched the video if he really did get knocked out or what, because it did look like he just like kind of fell. But then like it was like 2 seconds later, like he was up and he was fine. Like that doesn't really happen when you get knocked out. You're usually on the ground for a little bit.
Yeah.
And to say that he went 8 rounds of Floyd Mayweather and didn't get knocked out, and it went down to decision is like kind of crazy because I mean Mayweather's not really known for his knockouts. He usually goes down to decision a lot and usually just wins by decision all the time.
Volume and the cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like just to sit there and be able to say like, yeah, I went 8 rounds with Mayweather is like crazy to me.
Well, to be
like,
fair, what I hear a lot of the arguments for people who like are known in the fighting game saying that Logan won that fight because he stayed in there 8 rounds. He didn't get knocked out.
Yeah.
If you're in there with one of the greatest fighters, not even boxers, but fighters of all time, and you don't get knocked out, like that's just so impressive. I don't know if it's more impressive on Logan's part or just disappointing on Floyd's part. Like I feel like that's just a bad look for boxing.
Well, that was my thing is that a lot of the big boxing fans are probably going to say that it's like disappointing and Mayweather's like a disappointment to boxing
Yeah.
after that happened. You really think that dude cares?
No, he doesn't care, but I wish he cared.
I wish he
Yeah.
did too. But
because
he's just
that's
sitting
like
there.
his sport. He's representing.
He's
that
sitting there
sport.
on stacks of money, just not caring at all. And guess what, guys? He really had fun that night.
He really had fun. I had a good time.
I think
I was disappointed.
I don't know. I think it's interesting to see because we see like Brady and even LeBron, like they're getting better as time goes on.
They're so passionate.
Yeah, so it's like when you put something to your craft that much, it's sort of like at what point is it like completely diminishing to where you aren't. I don't want to say Mayweather's nowhere near what he used to be, but like you could tell. Like if that was Mayweather in his prime, it's not going like 4 rounds. Even though Mayweather doesn't really have like knockout power or anything, he's just so good and he would wear him down so quickly.
Yeah.
Because he's very much a counter fighter. Like he'll take what you're throwing and come back to you. So
Yeah.
just because I guess he didn't have the speed or whatever. Now that he's getting older,
There's
it's like
also that I don't think he really practiced for that fight
Yeah.
either. Like I was super excited because I've never gotten to watch Mayweather live. Like I was like, yo, this is sick. Like one of the greatest fighters of all time. I get to watch him, and like it was just such a disappointment to just have them kind of dancing around each other the whole time, just sparring.
Yeah.
Basically.
But I mean, the commentary was funny. Like
Yeah.
all the people walking out. I don't know. I had fun. I was watching it with a bunch of my boys, but like, fight itself is just like, come on. It's just,
I also find it funny like when you look at all the different like media outlets how they take it.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like if you have like all of Logan's camp and it's like
my brother just.
yeah.
I fucking hate Jake Paul. I hate him so much.
And then you have the other side. Like I watched the Showtime like post fight,
Mhm.
and it's all like all the commentation is like the greatest. Like he's like letting him stay in there and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's like obviously there's like a bit of truth in both, but
It's however you want to flip it.
yeah, I also think it's gonna be very interesting to see how, like Logan comes out of this.
Yeah.
Like he just fought the best boxer definitely in our
See what he has
lifetimes.
next.
Yeah. So it's like, what is he gonna have next? Obviously, he seems very passionate about boxing,
Yeah.
so I would assume he's gonna do something in that realm. But it's gonna be interesting to see. I think if he gets like McGregor, maybe. I mean, I know McGregor
wonder.
just announced right that he's
Well,
He's
it all
coming back?
Well, yeah, it depends. In 3 weeks, he's fighting Dustin for the trilogy, and whoever wins that is probably going to get a title shot for the lightweights in the UFC. So I don't know when he'd come back to boxing. if ever. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. But
Because I just feel like with McGregor now, he has the money. Does he really need more? I feel like he should be fighting to reclaim his fame now. I think the stuff with Dustin, I don't know if we want to get into this right now, but like that's a really close fight happening in 3 weeks. UFC 264, I think. Him and Dustin, two really good strikers, and Conor had him rocked like in the first fight, the first round. But I mean, we all know what happened. Dustin came back with the leg kicks.
Yeah.
So I think Conor
New
has
style
a lot.
of fighting.
Yeah, I think Conor has a lot more to work on for this trilogy fight. But I mean, it's so close, and I don't know. It's exciting. Oh, I'm so
it is
excited to see that fight.
And it was funny because recently I actually watched I'm trying to think, like the rewatch of McGregor and Mayweather. And I was just watching like how McGregor boxed and everything, and it just like he went. What round did he go to at Mayweather?
I don't know. Was it?
it wasn't 8.
8.
I think
Or was it 8? I don't think so because everybody.
it was somewhere from the 8 to 12 range. I know that.
Yeah.
And I was actually
He just
surprised.
gassed.
I was surprised that he like stayed in that long because his style of fighting was not how a boxer should try to fight. I mean, he was going in like striking in the UFC. That's exactly what he was trying to do to Mayweather. And I mean, he landed some clean shots and landed some powerful shots. But I was like, wow. I was like, this dude actually went like how many ever rounds he went with Mayweather, and I was like, that's actually impressive from him. Even though like he lost, like that was really impressive because his style of boxing, he should have got beat with.
Yeah,
in that round.
But in that fight, I feel like Mayweather's actually trying.
Oh yeah.
Like that Mayweather versus what we just saw with Logan. Like
100%.
Those are two different people. You can't compare Conor and Logan.
Yeah.
Just off of, it's like not fighting the same person at all.
Yeah.
I also think, if I remember correctly, at the time there was all the big debate about like crossover athletes, like how well somebody would be able to go. Not even if it was just like boxing, MMA, but like people were talking about like different sports, like baseball, football, like all stuff like that. And the whole debate was like, oh yeah, my sport's so athletic, I could just come into your sport and do what you do better. And that's like, that's what McGregor was trying to do. And like, that's why Mayweather kind of knew, like he had that extra bit of importance on it where he was like, okay, I have to shut this down. Like that's not how it works. But I do, to that same sort of light, like I find it interesting that, it does show, and I know a lot of like the legitimate fighters who have been put like 10 years into the game and now they're kind of being outsold by celebrities. It's almost like at this point it's who can manipulate the like public's image and interest the most, which is interesting. Like I don't think you could be mad at them. Like I think it's good for the sport. You're getting more eyes on boxing and fighting in general. But I think it's just interesting to see, and I know, in my opinion, I know you're not a fan of Jake Paul. Neither am I generally. But I do think it's a good idea for him to be shedding light on the lack of pay that's in the UFC. Like at least he's using the platform in the fighting space that he's getting now for good, at least.
Right. I'm really excited for the fight with him and Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy. That'll be a real test for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I do respect him as a boxer now because it seems like he really cares about it. He obviously cares about winning. You saw how he reacted to knocking out Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Like freaking out. He got a fake ass belt or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, he cares about it. It's making it his craft, and I think it's a good step to fight Tyron Woodley. I think he lost his last 5 fights in the UFC since being a champion, so we don't know how he'll box. He's also, like I heard him described as a wrestler with the right hand, so it's not like he's a huge striker, but I mean knockout power. It's definitely a step up in competition.
I've heard he has a lot of knockout power in his right hand and everything. But speaking of like Tyron Woodley and everything, Tyron Woodley's like older. This is where I want to jump into this topic because I forgot to mention it to you guys. Logan Paul and Mike Tyson are like pretty good friends. But Logan Paul recently said he'd beat Mike Tyson in a boxing match because Mike Tyson's old, and I couldn't stop laughing.
No.
I
don't see it.
When Mike Tyson boxed earlier this year, he's old, he's not as quick, but he still has a lot of power in his punches.
And wasn't he like high while doing it? So, like, he
on
didn't kill the
shrooms.
guy?
And his punches still have a lot of damn power in it. And if Logan Paul ever went up against Mike Tyson, I don't think Mike Tyson would sit there and mess around. He's like not that type of fighter with that type of mentality. Just like kind of do it like Mayweather did.
I don't think
he would go for the kill.
Yeah.
And I feel, I hope Logan
I
Paul
don't know
shuts
though.
up
You
now.
see all the stuff? Mike Tyson's like he has all the love in his heart now. Like
Yeah.
there's a clip.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, there's a clip where he's going and he's got all of his belts laid out in his house, and an interviewer's like, "Look at all that you sacrificed for like these belts. Like, how does it make you feel?" I go, "Fix it up." He goes, "Garbage." And the guy goes, "What do you mean garbage?" He's like, "You fought all these years to get these. Like, this was your life's goal." He goes, "No, at the time, like my life's goal." He's like, "Now, garbage. I don't care about them anymore." So just like, it's interesting to see, and you know, like obviously people's perspectives changed, and Mike Tyson was a killer. Like he would literally kill you.
Yeah.
So like, if that were to happen, I don't think he would take it as lightly as Mayweather did, especially after seeing what happened to Mayweather.
Yeah.
Like I think
All
that's
the backlash.
yeah, but I also don't know. Like they are friends, or at least friendly with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd just be interesting to see. Like he could come the complete opposite way, and like we're just sparring. And he is older, and since they do have more of a like a relationship, they might mutually go into it, saying that it would be like a sparring session.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't want to see that because I wouldn't want to see Logan Paul go, say
It's bad
6
for the
rounds.
sport.
Yeah, I will say he'll go 6 rounds with Mike Tyson, blah, blah, blah. They won't pick a winner, all that. Like, I don't want to see that. If I want to see Logan Paul fighting Mike Tyson, I want to see someone get knocked out.
Yeah, or like
plain and simple.
devil's advocate. I mean, I'm not saying it would happen, but you also don't want to see Mike Tyson get knocked out.
Yeah, no, not really. Especially, you know, I don't like watching old people get beat up. I mean, he's old. But, like, boxing fans definitely wouldn't want to see Mike Tyson get knocked out. And
I think
it just ruin it.
Jake looks a lot better than Logan.
I saw
Oh, 100%.
It's a lot better because like I just think of Logan watching him with his hands down
Yeah.
the whole fight, but like no head movement either.
I hate Jake, but I do have respect for him because he kind of does have a future in
Yeah.
boxing. Because he did look really good against Askren, even though Askren's a middle-aged fucking dad.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't even know what his goal for that was.
But Jake did look really good, and I think he has way more of a future than Logan does in boxing.
Don't actually know. Like, do you guys know how they line up in height and weight, the brothers?
No, I don't.
Because
No.
like I just feel like every time I look at them, and I don't know if it's just because who they're fighting or whatever, but like I feel like Logan always looks so much bigger than Jake.
Yeah,
And like I don't know if that's actually how it is.
I'm pretty sure that's actually how it is.
But Jake's like I feel like they're both taking it equally as serious, but his just like he's just so much more fluid when he fights.
better.
Yeah. But talking about fluidity and you know, people who look good while they fight. I know David was really excited about the recent UFC fight.
Oh my god, 263. Like UFC 263 was amazing. I don't know how much you watched, Kai and Lucas, if you watched it all.
Only a little bit.
A
Only the
little
clip.
Wow. Just keep going.
Okay, so I guess we'll just start with the Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards fight. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, you tried. Got you. That was a crazy fight because Leon Edwards is supposed to be like this fantastic striker, and for 24 out of the 25 minutes, he was doing fantastic with his striking and his ground game, cut Nate Diaz up, all that, and then gets rocked in the final minute and probably could have gotten finished. I don't know why Nate just pointed at him and laughed at him and didn't go for the finish, but well, I don't know Leon's ranking right now, but I think now he's set up for a title shot, but if he had got knocked out right there, like all that work just goes away. So that was a crazy fight. I was like so scared for him in that final minute. Then going on to Moreno and Figueiredo. Did you
No.
watch it? Oh my god, that was a fantastic fight. I mean, I guess we don't have to talk about it. I'm the only one. I was so excited though. I was like jumping out of my seat when he knocked Figueiredo down. First Mexican-born UFC champion. That was just fantastic. And then the main event was Adesanya and Vittori. I don't know, just Adesanya just outclassed him the whole time, grabbed his ass a little bit. Yeah, I don't know.
And he's also, I mean, he's like,
He
just
looks
his
really
personality also. I think going back to like the idea of who's selling fights and if they're properly being in the UFC, like money wise, he's someone who you can tell like he has a team around him where he could easily sell his fights like
good. Yeah, he has a personality.
yeah, as much as the UFC would, but it's just right now in the current model, like I think it's also, even though they're not getting paid as much, like he's able to sell a fight for people that you've never heard of, just based on his personality.
Yeah.
I know right after his fight, he was somewhere like in the desert, and he went on Andrew Schultz's podcast, and he's just like joking around the whole time, and it's just like it's fun to see stuff like that. It's reminiscent of like McGregor or anybody in sport who's like that. Like even Curry is very like loose. Even when he plays, you can kind of tell. And it just, I think when you have people like that in your sport, it's super obviously entertaining. It gets eyes on you. But it shows that there are different ways to succeed, right? Like you have someone who is more loose, just basketball, something I'm a little bit more familiar with, like Curry, and he's lethal. Like obviously he plays his game and his game's immaculate. But then you have on the opposite end of the spectrum, you had someone like Kobe, where it's like he's dialed in and he's not loose at all. Yeah. Like he's like in the killer mindset, just like how Tyson was.
Well, that's the thing that I love about Adesanya is, besides like his personality, is his mentality when he gets in the octagon. There's literally videos of him sitting there saying to himself, like, I'm ready to be killed today.
Yeah.
And like he's going in and he's either fighting to the death of him or he's winning the fight. And that's like, I find that so crazy because I don't think I'd ever be able to step into like an octagon and be like, yeah, like I'm ready to die in here. And that's like what makes him so intimidating to me, is the fact that like he steps in the ring, he looks you in the eyes, and he just says, "I'm ready to die." And I'd shit myself on spot. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't care how skilled I am. I'd shit myself on spot. Like that's what I love about Adesanya. Besides the fact that like he does have a great personality. I mean, after his fights, like he's always joking around and everything, but like once he gets in the ring, he's all business, and I'm like,
and he's really
wow,
good.
yeah, and he's really good.
I think. I mean, I know. It's very interesting to see that type of mentality in any sort of combat sport, because that's like literally what your goal. Not your goal is not to kill them, but yeah, like that.
Their goal is.
Yeah, like you're going out there to like, yeah, like you have that in other sports, and like even I feel like a lot of people in life almost have it. I know there's a clip. I'm pretty sure it's Will Smith, and he was talking about somebody, and he was on the treadmill with them, and he's like, "How long do you want to go?" And they're like, I'm going to go until I'm just a little bit longer than you. Like, you'll get off the treadmill, and then I'll get off. And then he's sitting there, and he was like, he said it, he recalls it. He's like, it was when he was younger, and he was first coming in, like, starting to make big movies and stuff. And he said, I'm going to go until I die then. Like, I'm willing to die on this treadmill. I don't think you're willing to say the same, but, like, that's what I'm willing to do just to prove a point to you. And I know Kobe would do it. Like, he was pregame shooting, and if somebody else came on the court, he would just go until, like, they would get off, and then he'd be willing to get off. But it's just like when you're going up against someone who you know they're literally willing to put it all on the line. Yeah. Like there's no excuse in there at all. Like they'll never make an excuse. That's when I think you finally get to like. That's when you get the peak athletes, and in anything in life, because, like, I don't want to say odds are, but like they can lose like at any moment, but nothing's gonna like they're gonna only lose if they are truly defeated. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's what interests me so much about like combat sports is that you need to train every day. You need to be the best version of yourself when you walk into that ring, that octagon, whatever it may be. Like you take a day off practice, that could be the decision maker if you suffer injuries and like your career is over. Versus like skipping practice in another sport, it's not great, but what's gonna happen? You lose a game and like your season's over. Just seems really different to me. So I like to believe that every person who steps into that octagon is the best version of herself. It's just so impressive to me, and so much respect for anybody who does that.
Mm-hmm.
And just with that, like as much as it is physical, I feel like I realistically, obviously they need their time off and stuff, but camps are designed for fighters in the intense way that they are. I think it is physical, but it's also when you go into the octagon or the ring, you know, like. I didn't take any days off when I wasn't supposed to. Yeah. Like, mentally, this is, like, I am ready to go. Even if, like, they have a broken anything, right? Like, they know that this is, like, as dialed in as they'll ever be. And for the one fighter that they're fighting, like, they have no doubt that they'll beat them. Mm-hmm. And I think that is something that I've always found interesting. Because I know for hockey, I'm generally pretty good with it, like, in terms of even if the other team's ranked, like, I don't know, 20 places higher, like, I go in and truly believing that my team has the opportunity to win. But I wonder if there's any fighter who has, like, the doubt. Because I know Logan Paul, obviously, not a real fighter. Or he is now, I guess, technically. But he was talking about how in the last fight, he only visualized himself winning, like, over and over and over again. And he said for this fight, he actually visualized himself losing, like getting knocked out,
wow.
and then having to deal with it. And he said that, like, doubt in himself is what allowed him to overcome it, because he would see it over and over and over again. So he, like, played through the scenario and played through the situation to realize how he'd be able to, like, almost make it null and void. Like, how he'd be able to just, like, be like, okay, this could happen. Here are all the steps for me to not make it happen. And I think, like, I think it would be cool to see not necessarily the physical side of a fighter's camp, because I feel like there's plenty of videos. Like, I know I've watched a few of them. But if somebody was able to go through mentally, like, each part, like, each day of their camp to see where they're getting, you know?
Yeah. And part of, like, my respect for the fighters, like, obviously the mentality, the physicality of all of them, but I just love watching these combat sports. So I started doing karate at only, like, 3 weeks in or whatever, but I'm, like, really loving it. But the other day, so the dojo is, like, they haven't been back to normal yet because everything's open up now with COVID. So they're finally, like, easing us back into sparring. So the other day was my first time, but so we got, like, the big shields that you'll, like, kick or punch or something. And so I was partnered with a black belt. And so I was, like, holding the shield. I'd never done it before. And he kicks me and, like, it ricochets into my body. I, like, punch myself in the face. I'm like, oh my god, that hurt. And I have this, like, 6-inch shield in front of me. Like, I can't imagine, like, they're like digging into my liver or something like that. And these people just take it and keep fighting. So that was an experience. I mean, I still, I'm like, I'm going to go back. I'm not like, oh my god, I don't want to do that again. It was scary at the time, but I was like, I know I want to learn how to fight. I want to spar. Like, this is just what I got to get through right now. Just, like, focus on not hitting myself in the face again next time I get kicked.
But then that's, like, the thing is, like, you know, that happens to you and everything, and, like, honestly, most kids would be like, oh, I don't want to do that again, but, like, you and, like, your mentality, you're like, I want to get up to that point.
Yeah,
I want to get up to that point where I could, like, do that to someone and make them not want to come again, because that's what I would want to do. Yeah. And that's why I was gonna bring up, honestly, even though the boxing events are all, you know, not really good for the sport, at the same time they are, because it's gotten me into boxing a lot. Yeah. And I go to, like, every time I go to the gym, my gym has, like, punching bags and everything, and when I'm done with, like, my weightlifting workout, I do a bunch of boxing workouts just to, like, get the cardio going and everything, and then I hit the bag because, like, I enjoy it a lot.
Bag work is fun.
Yeah, and, like, I don't want to, like,
what, you don't want to fight
honestly,
me?
I will fight you. But, like, honestly, like, the TikTok versus YouTuber event, like, we forgot to talk about that.
I didn't know if you were going to talk about that.
But, like,
it was late.
Yeah, it really was.
All I know is YouTube won, right?
I have a couple thoughts about that. But, like, I was sitting there, and I remember DDG said, like, he always, like, dreamed of himself, like, as a kid, that, like, he was in a boxing match and everything. And, like, I want to be in, like, a boxing match. Do I, like, really think I'm going to be in one? No. But, like, I like boxing a lot. And, I mean, I box my friends every now and then. Like, I've got hit a couple times, and, like, yeah, it hurts, but, like, your adrenaline kind of just, like, gets you over and everything. But, like, every time I go to the gym and, like, when I'm done with my workout, I just hit the bag, and it's, like, it's so satisfying for me because, one, if I have anything, like, I'm angry about or stressed out about, it gets it out right there. Yeah. And two, like, it's just something that I like to do, and it's, like, keeping me in shape and everything. So I do think, like, even though those events are bad for boxing, at the same time they're good because it got me into, like, boxing, like, wanting to learn how to box. But yeah, the YouTube versus TikTok fights, Jesus Christ. The only good fight on that fight was literally, like, the Jarvis versus Michael Lee fight.
I didn't get to see it. Yeah.
Bro,
I was driving my friend.
I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't get to watch it because I was at my girlfriend's house. We were having a party for, like, prom. Yeah. And I didn't watch it, and then, like, I found, like, a replay of it, and I watched that. Dude, Jarvis looked good. Like, really good.
I like his grades. That's all I saw.
I know he trained with Mayweather's team and everything, and it was only, like, 3 months, but, like, 3 months of training, bro, he looked real good. Yeah. And, like, honestly, he keeps training and, like, keeps fighting. He has a future in boxing because we talked about Logan Paul against Mayweather and how he just, like, kept his hands down and everything, didn't play defense. Jarvis played defense and basically did what Mayweather would do when, like, Mayweather was in his prime, and feel out his opponent, see what he's throwing, and then just, like, throw the opposite of him, so he obviously, like, hits him when he's throwing and everything. Jarvis was doing that, and they got him up against the ropes and just hit him with, like, a right hook to the jaw and just knocked him out clean. And it was, like, it was sick because I was like, holy shit, like that was 3 months of training right there, and that encouraged me to start like boxing. And I was like, yo, like that was 3 months of training. Obviously I'm not getting that like high level of training, but I was like, that's like, I want to learn like how to do that and everything. So like I went to the gym and just started doing a bunch of boxing workouts because I don't know, it's fun for me.
I didn't get to see it, but I did see all like the like kind of like mini documentaries FaZe was putting out about it. All I know is like I need to see a picture of Jarvis before he started training because I just don't feel like Jarvis looked like that like whatsoever.
The only
Absolutely
picture I
not.
had of him was he got caught cheating and like his crying video.
Oh, yeah,
Like, that's the only thing I could think of. But.
Yeah, he posted on Twitter and he said, I went from this and like posted like the crying
Oh, yeah,
picture
he
to
did.
this, and it was him like celebrating his win. It was so funny.
Oh yeah,
Then,
well, that was Fortnite, right?
Yeah, it was Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they haven't unbanned him yet. But
Yeah, but that
for
was probably the
making a
best
video.
thing. Have you guys heard the conspiracy of that?
No.
Where like
He
he never
wanted to.
actually got banned,
Oh.
and he just like told like he
Wanted
like got
drama.
like banned for a little bit, and then they realized like how much it was coming out of it, and they were like, oh well, like now what if we just make it appear as though it was like a lifetime ban? That way,
All the drama.
Yeah.
Gets all that attention.
I mean,
see
see that's like the thing. That would be hard for me though because like he was really good at Fortnite.
Oh,
Like he had a career in Fortnite and everything. I mean, I know he's got a bunch of people around him that can like either way if he was a YouTuber or not, like he's set for his life because like his brother and like everyone around him. And now he's like just like a content creator and like just living in the FaZe house doing whatever he wants. But I don't know, like I don't know if I could have gave up like Fortnite and like
all that, like
being
all the
good,
success he was having,
and and everything just for like to like put out a message basically for Epic Games or whatever. I don't know if I could do that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Do you think they're maybe paying him a little bit, or they at least had to
we're
pay him
going deep
something?
into this.
I mean, I don't know. Like if that were to be the case, like if he were to just make it appear as though like he was like permanently banned, it did give a lot of attention towards Epic also.
Yeah.
Like and like how they would handle it and what they would do. And I think for the most part they showed what they would want, right? Like they would show like, okay, if you cheat, that's it for you. Like you're done forever. So I think that would help them. And it did give them a lot of PR. Like any PR is good PR. So I mean maybe. I don't know if that's initially how it would have been. I think it would have been more so like, all right, listen, like we need to blow you up as quick as possible here, and like something that you're gonna be able to take from just eyes on you to actual like money, right? Like being able to convert what is just a general like clout, I guess, to something that's like physical. So I think maybe like if they realized how much was coming out of that and maybe they like talked to him and cut him a deal, kind of, I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's doing what he's doing now and he's living, so I don't think he really cares about it anymore.
Well, I'm sure he made a lot of money on the fight.
Yeah, he made bank, and
lot of money.
I just want to put it out there that I'm so happy that Bryce Hall got the shit kicked out of him because I hate him. I hate him so much.
But he's not a real fighter.
Is that what he
He's not a
said?
real fighter.
He
Yeah.
said-
So, like, even I noticed it because in the pre-fight, he was saying, like, I don't know what he said, but he was literally saying, like, I got, like, 40 street fights.
40
like,
street
I'm
fights
a
and he's
fighter.
undefeated. And he's like a state championship in wrestling, blah,
He's like,
blah,
I'm
blah,
a
all
fighter,
that.
I'm a fighter.
all
And then
that.
At the end, he's like, just want to remind you guys, like, I'm not a fighter, I'm not a boss.
Yeah.
Bro.
And everyone's like, bro, what?
I don't
Like,
even
he
know who
literally-
you are. Like, 10 minutes ago, I know you said you were a fighter.
He literally sat there saying, like, 40 street fights, I'm undefeated in all of them. I haven't lost one. And then Austin McBroom comes in. Austin McBroom's like an all-around athlete. I didn't know how good he was at like basketball because I knew he
I
played in
knew.
college, and like I watched like his highlights because like it just popped up on my
Pretty good.
like my feed. Bro, he was good.
Yeah.
He was good, and he's like just an all-around athlete. And I was so happy that he beat the shit out of him. I was like, thank God.
But we're gonna transition a little bit. We're gonna talk about some music. Since the last time, which obviously has been a few months,
A lot of music.
a lot of music's come out. Particularly, I know we all are fans of J. Cole.
Now I am, yeah.
Yeah.
After
So
that, yeah.
his new album, The Off Season, I loved it. I don't know what you guys thought or
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great, too.
favorite song.
Proud as the devil. Just I think the part that like, first off, how him and Lil Baby like just transition into Lil Baby's part is so clean. So that's like, and like Lil Baby's one of my favorite artists now, and he's probably most people's favorite artist because like he's this music that he's making is like great for our not great for our generation, but like is what our generation really likes, and that had to be my favorite song just because like the fact that how they transition in is just like so clean, and I was like, I was like, this song's so good.
I think I like it more because he's transitioning to more of a pop sound.
Yeah, that's it.
Which, I mean, a lot of people don't like that. They want his more like lyrical storytelling, but I think he mixes it in really well. Like he has good storytelling. I don't remember the song name, but one about like when he was like a kid and like got a gun and shot it and then was like scared. Do you know which one? I don't know that
Hold
one.
on, I was listening to it yesterday.
Yeah,
it's a good one. It's like the storytelling song,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I love the story going on there, and he makes it sound really good.
I like Pride is the Devil and Amari. Amari's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, I love Amari. I think that's my favorite one. But talking about storytelling, and I think, like, obviously, I know we were talking about it where it's like the GOATs. You have like the Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. They're all in the same sort of. They usually get classed together. Yeah, very different.
They shouldn't get classed, but they
do. So, going off that, like the storytelling ability, I think that's something that Kendrick had led the way, like significantly amongst the group, because they do have drastically different styles. But with that song, like he blended it just as well as Kendrick has been able to, where it's just as pleasant to listen to. And I think, obviously Drake's very in tap with the culture, but he almost like makes it very clear to that. Like he's putting, like Tootsie Slide was literally like meant to become like a TikTok dance, right?
Yeah.
Where Cole's right in the middle, he's very in touch with what the culture wants, and I think that's why he is moving towards that more like pop trap kind of style, but he's able to preserve like what he is. And I think that, you know, especially in songs like Amari, he's able to do both. Pride is the Devil is able to do both. And I know this one song he's on it with Black, and you can't even hear him, which is just like how creative genius he is at this point. It's like he knows that's a name that's popping, and he knows it's something that's outside of his ability. And I don't know how much you guys follow it, but like J. Cole used to do no features, which is like very known. Mm-hmm. But he also used to produce his own stuff. Yeah. So like J. Cole's last album, KOD, that was the biggest complaint. Like it's just like everybody's like it's good, but it's like Cole on another Cole track. Like it's just kind of dull.
That was weird for me. Like so I got into I guess Cole and A$AP Rocky at a bad time. Like Cole dropped KOD and I was like, oh, like I should listen to J. Cole, like I'll listen to this album. And then it like wasn't really what people wanted, so I'm like, oh, I just caught it at a bad time. Like I don't really want to go back and listen to all his old stuff, which I have now. But like at the time I was like, oh, whatever, like I'm not listening to J. Cole. And then when A$AP Rocky dropped Testing, I think it was, I was like, oh, I gotta listen to A$AP Rocky, like let me do that. And then like that was not received well either. So I don't know, just like bad timing whenever I want to listen to these artists.
Yeah.
But, I was happy to like catch this one.
I'm trying to think. Who was it that just dropped an album that was like, everyone, Polo G's new album, everyone's kind of like hating on it just
Piano
because.
G.
And they're hating on it because of the producer though. And every beat that he made was like the same beat.
Yeah.
And so they're hating on that because everyone says that Polo G's just like a piano artist and like that's all like he raps over is like piano beats. So they tried switching it up, and I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I actually kind of liked it. It wasn't his best, but I did like it. But everyone's like, the reason why he's getting backlash is because his producer made every single beat, like, literally the same. And, like, I got to show you guys after. It's, like...
Well, I saw a video, you just click through, and none of them sound different.
Yeah, and it's, like, so, like, slightly different that everyone's like, what is this?
I saw a picture, is like, Polo G's producer, and it's a piano with only 3 keys.
I think, for me at least, like you kind of see artists go in both ways, where it's like some are just like that, where it's like the exact same thing over and over and over again, and it gets really stale. And then you have some people who try to like change it a lot, I guess. Like they try to have a lot of different styles, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then they kind of like lose their original fan base, and like going back to Cole, like he's able to balance the two very well, I feel like. And even I mean, Drake's sort of like that, but he kind of has always been that, like, pop kind of rap. A group, actually, like the Migos, I never really was the biggest fan of them, but recently, like, their music started to grow on me, and I just find it very interesting that, like, if you listen to their stuff, it's all different, but like it's all that like same trap kind of beat, like yeah, but they're just like they're so good at like that's their thing and they know that's their thing, so they don't even like bother working on anything else.
You remember Snoop Dogg making fun of them? He's like,
oh yeah,
he sounds like yeah, that's what they sound like.
And 50's over there like laughing at me. But I mean, they're able to like they know what's theirs, like that's their style now. That's the Migos style, you know.
Yeah, they started it. Can't knock them for that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I can't stop yawning over here.
Well, switch topics.
Yeah. Same realm music. Did you guys listen to the new Logic track?
Listened to it once. It was just good to hear him again.
Also.
51 minutes ago I did, yeah.
I liked it. One, it is good to hear him again. Like, you know, it's still a Logic track. Like it's, but I also did find it interesting that, prior to his retirement, that was his thing. He was like, you know, everybody wants me to go back to like what I was, and like I'm not that person anymore. Yeah. I did find his approach very interesting, where he did take the perspective of him being younger again, or at least somebody going through the same sort of struggles he did. And he raps from that like past perspective, and I think that's what a lot of people wanted. I did just find it interesting, and like I don't know if I liked it or disliked it, but the fact that he is rapping from that perspective, but he's like not, the tone of the song doesn't really match it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I have to listen to it more, but like I said, it was just good to hear him again. Like I still only listen to like Under Pressure, True Story, Incredible True Story, and then a little bit of Bobby Tarantino. The other stuff I was like I liked that at the time, but it just didn't stick for me.
Yeah.
So I miss like that version of him, but I don't know. I just liked it, like hearing him again. That he's still doing well. His baby's cute.
Yeah.
Like the thing for me is I don't think like I don't know if it was so planned for him to like fake retire and then like come back and like have the song be like a top hit and everything.
I thought he's supposed to do one more album. Was that like part of his plan?
Oh,
I thought so, but I mean, I honestly don't think he can. I think he's back and like he's just gonna make more music. I don't think like something like that. Like it's hard to give up, and so I mean, I don't think like he's just gonna like leave for good. Like when he said that he was gonna retire, like I didn't think like he was actually gonna retire. Like I knew like at some point he was gonna drop something or like be featured on something. So I was like he's not like gone. And then he dropped this and everything, and it's like, oh, like he's back. Like, yeah, and I mean, again, it's not like this wasn't like any of like his old music from Incredible True Story and all the like the Bobby Tarantinos and everything. And so I mean, me as a Logic fan, like that was like when I first got into it, and like that's like really what I liked. And like when he dropped Bobby Tarantino 2, and like not that it was bad, but like it wasn't like Bobby Tarantino 1 or just like the original Bobby Tarantino I meant. And that's when I was like, I mean, like Logic, I love you and everything, but like
none of the later albums really.
I want the old you back and everything. And then I mean this song, I mean, again, not that like the newer him, like his music is bad, it's just like
it's not what we fell in love with in the beginning.
Yeah,
it's not his fault.
Yeah, no, it's not.
He changed as a person.
He's a different person now.
Different person, and
he was hungry, needed the money, had that story, like.
And now, I mean, he's explained the story and everything, and it's kind of like it's hard, and it's got to be hard to be a rapper too and everything, because like you kind of got to adapt to the generation and like what like we want and like what's going on, like what's like really popular in the world and everything. So like obviously it's hard for him and everything, and like I listened to the song for a couple minutes before we started this podcast and everything, and it didn't sound terrible, but it's like not something that like Flexecution. I played that shit over and over and over again. Like it's not like that where I was like I'd probably sit there and just play it like 5 times in a row.
Crazy when it came out.
Yeah, it really did.
But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun talking with you guys.
Yeah.
I want to end it before Kai falls asleep over here and he's actually dreaming, you know? Pretty fitting for the theme, not gonna lie.
Oh, we gotta get a thumbnail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right now?
No, we'll take a couple pictures afterwards. But thank you guys so much for watching. David, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you.
Yeah,
Should have you on more often.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be like a
third person.
It would help, because I mean, it made it a lot easier just like talking through
let me know.
and everything.
I'm here.
So
perfect. So let us know if you like David, or maybe we gotta cut him out, you know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Alright, so we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.